It's pretty crazy to look back on my career and move to a brand new city, and I knew zero people. I said, this is career suicide. But that first year, I ended up doubling my income.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Cup of Joe Marcoux podcast show. This is going to be so much fun because my guest is an expert in a lot of things, and you're an expert in real estate, which is a topic of discussion that a lot of people are afraid of. And a lot of people frown on the idea of sales and the way that some realtors will speak to them or not. And so and then I think that we're also going to be talking a little bit about what's important in the heart and what's important to our spirit. So I want to introduce everyone to Marites Kliem. I honestly thought,
Thank you.
I said,
You got it right.
Yeah, I was going to pronounce it incorrectly. And so right before we hit record, I was like, is it this? And she's like, no, it's Kliem. It is German. So welcome to the Cup of Joe Marcoux show.
Joe. Super excited to be here. Yeah, I have a very difficult name. It could be Marites or Marites or Martinez. Sometimes I get that.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's just I was born and raised in Canada, but even though it's a Filipino name, Marites is kind of how most people say it in Canada.
And it's interesting because when I hear Marites being a francophone, I would have assumed, because of the way that it sounds and it rolls off the tongue with Marites, as the way a francophone would say it, have you ever been mistaken for Spanish?
Actually, when I was a child actor, I played Spanish many times. Or I've played many different characters, so I am racially ambiguous. Like I don't know if they can see me on the podcast, but people are always a little.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube as well. So
awesome.
So talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, before we get into a little bit of your history of real estate and where God has taken you on the path of getting people into their homes, which is such a beautiful thing. What's this story about you and being a child actor? There's something that I didn't see in your background on LinkedIn.
Oh,
What's
surprise. Yeah, I don't really talk about it too much.
Great. Share.
Okay, so I am the youngest of 3 girls. Okay. And my sisters are 7 and 11 years older than me. So I was the baby of the family. I loved being the center of attention. And so people always told my mom, like, put her in acting, let her try it. And so one day we were walking in Steveston in Richmond in BC.
Yes. Yeah.
And a woman approached us in a van and she said, "Hey, your daughter looks like she'd be perfect for this acting role." And my mom's like, "Oh, no. Like, I know what this is."
Yeah. This is a scam.
That's right. Get in my van. Sure.
Yeah. Come in this white van. We've got ice cream. Yeah.
That's right. Right. And so then the lady said, "We'll pay her." And my mom's like, "Okay, let's go." So then we followed them. Yeah. Okay. We followed them in our van, and that was my first acting gig, which was for Canada's 125th birthday. They had a commercial for that.
Yeah.
And then that same week, I had an appointment with an acting agent.
Yes.
And so then I did dozens of TV commercials. I was a hand model for cereal. I did lots of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then as I got a little bit older, I did a couple just small roles. Like I wasn't a big time actor, but I did X-Files. I did The Poltergeist Legacy. I was in The Sentinel. And then probably my biggest role was Josie and the Pussycats. It was a movie, that came out many years ago. I was just a teenager, but I had some speaking lines in that one. And that was kind of
was the Josie and the Pussycats, was that something that was off of Archie Comics? Was that part of that? Yeah,
yes,
I remember that as a kid. Yeah. So let's fast forward now, as here you are from a child actor or actress, going to real estate. Share with those that are listening what that journey was like and what got you to do that.
God had a plan because I sure didn't. I was 19 when I applied for my real estate license. At the time, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was taking some marketing courses. I had a background in acting and singing, but If anybody is a musician or an actor that's listening, it's really hard to make that a full-time career.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't have a true passion for acting. Like I didn't really want to invest into acting lessons. So my mom at the time, she was buying and selling real estate, flipping properties, and she says,
Okay.
I'm working with all these realtors, and she's like, you're way smarter than all of them. So she's like, you should go get your license. And so I was
Great
like,
support from mom to
yeah.
be able to lift you up and say, "Here's an opportunity." Was that something that that the switch got flipped where you went, "Oh yeah, this is a lightning rod moment. Real estate helping people go into like did that happen or did you
To
have to
be,
grow into it?"
yeah, I did have to grow into it. You have to keep in mind, I was about 19 years old.
Yeah,
So
you're
I was
young at
still,
19 to get into
I
real
didn't
estate.
really know who I was. I had a lot of insecurities, a lot of fears. I was driving my mom's
Mm,
car. I had my new driver sticker on the back. Like I wasn't even a full-fledged, I didn't even have a driving license, a proper license.
right.
So it was really nerve-wracking, and I didn't know people like you existed that could have helped me many, many years ago. So I think what you do, Joe, is like so important, the way that you build people up. And
Thank you.
yeah.
But you're doing that now. You're also doing that within your own team. You started off as a 19-year-old, obviously coachable person, and
Hmm.
not everybody's coachable because they all think that there was a time that I wasn't. I thought I had all the answers. Now, as a coach, it's amazing that it's like the thirst for knowledge and new
Hmm.
things.
Yes.
Now it's like, guess what? There's only one guy who's got all the answers, and there's nobody on this planet. Yeah, right. Like he's got all
Yes.
the answers. So
Yeah.
when did you get your stride? When was it like at what age where you clicked in and it's like, hey, I'm one of the top
Mm.
producers here doing this. And now because you're mentoring other people doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to look back on my career. We're currently now top 1% in our region. So we sell
That's
a lot of real
awesome.
estate. I've got a
That's
team.
awesome.
There's me, my husband, three other agents, and a couple of assistants.
Yeah.
And so for me to even say that is like, who does that? I'm like, that's me. Because for
Yeah.
so many years, I was so insecure and I had a very average career. But
Mm.
really what triggered the exponential growth is when my husband got a job in a town that was over an hour away as a pastor, and we felt that God was calling us to move.
Okay.
And I was very, very nervous. I said, Tyson, this is my home. This is where I grew up. This is where my family is. This is my only area that I know. These are my
Right.
clients. And I'd
Yeah.
been there already for 7 years. And
Established.
so to pick up and move to a brand new city, I said, this is career suicide. But
Mm.
we just felt that God was really calling us to this place called Abbotsford.
Yeah.
And it was his role as a pastor to be in the community that you live in. So he wasn't going to
Right.
commute. So it was like, okay, we were brand new, newly married, and we had to pick up and move.
So
And I
where
remember
from too? I mean, for those
so
who
Richmond, Abbotsford.
don't know the Greater Vancouver Regional District, Richmond is where basically the best way I can explain it is where the airport is. It's just
Hmm.
south of Vancouver. Abbotsford is inland,
Hmm.
and so the distance from the Greater Vancouver Regional District or Metro Vancouver, if you will, to Abbotsford is roughly an hour
Yeah, at least
at
that.
least. And
Yeah.
so now you're not going to travel an
No.
hour daily. Like that's 2 hours every
No.
day. And
Yeah.
you didn't have
And if
kids
there's
yet.
traffic. I didn't have kids yet. We were still young. But
You still are young. Come on.
the cool thing about that story is that when we relocated and I started my business up again, statistically, I shouldn't have made it because the home prices in Richmond were literally half the price of the home prices in Abbotsford.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and I knew zero people. I didn't know a single person in Abbotsford, whereas Richmond, I grew up there my whole life. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make half as much money, even if
Yeah.
I do really good and I
Yeah.
network and all that. But that first year, I ended up doubling my income.
Okay. Let's just stop right there. And so what is somebody who's not, you're not a newbie in real estate. What did
Yeah.
you do? What would you say was the secret sauce that got you, again, stepping out of your comfort zone? God laughs
Hmm.
at all our plans, right? And he's
Yes.
not laughing at you. He's more like, here's something
Yeah.
fun for you. And then what ends up happening is there's things that happened for you.
Yes, 100%.
not to you. And for anybody listening or watching, you might be going through something that's really hard in your life right now, and that's not happening to you. It's happening for you. Every instance. So in this context, Marites, what was happening for you that helped
Mhm.
you literally double the business in a brand new market?
Yeah. I mean, God blessed me with incredible people at this. We landed at a church, and it
Mm,
started with one family in our community group, and they
yes.
hired me, and they gave me a shot, and I just did the best that I could. But really, it was a mentor who kind of took me under his wing, and it was a mindset shift.
Right.
So I
This is
mean,
this is the example of who, not how.
who
Like the
not
how,
how?
the
Yeah.
how comes right. God already knows the how. Don't worry about it. He's going to
Yes.
set you up with the who. And as
Yeah.
long as you are open to that, like it's you can have a vision. You don't know how to
Yes.
get there. Don't worry, you don't have to know,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. And
Wow.
it was like the first real test of our pursuing the Lord and putting him first. And this
Mm,
was really putting my money where my mouth is. To
atta
say
girl.
like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna follow you, I'm gonna obey, I'm gonna listen to the call, and I'm gonna go and trust that you will provide. And I really had no other choice because I didn't know
Yeah.
anybody else. And there was some significant mindset shifts that happened for me. One of them was that I was so scared that I was not going to be able to get to know anybody because a
Mm.
lot of the people, especially in this church in particular, were tight knit and they
Sure.
have, the
The
same realtor
community
for
cliques.
generations
Yeah.
and the same guy does everything for everybody. And like even racially, I felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb. It was a Mennonite Brethren church,
Okay.
primarily Caucasian families.
Yep.
I think I was like one of two non like white people. I don't know
Right.
how
No,
I
call it for what
right?
you will. Yeah. So
Yeah.
here's this
And so,
Filipino woman standing in a group
yeah.
of white people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
And I,
standing
I
out.
said, how am I going to prove myself? I felt a little bit insecure. And my
Mm.
mentor said to me, you know what, Mary Tess, just focus on being an incredible realtor and
Yeah.
bring so much value, and age and ethnicity is not going to matter.
You got it.
And that
You
was it. It
got it.
was like this simple mindset shift. And it just kind of opened up my mind to think, okay, I'm just going to be really awesome at what I do and take
Yeah.
really, really good care of these people, and God will provide. And he
This
absolutely did.
this is an example of somebody who's got a server's heart. And again, like, you know, for those of you who've heard me speak before or listen to this show, there's going to be times where we're not here Bible thumping. We're talking about the reality that there is a power stronger than all of us that has created this. Whether you believe in God or
Yeah.
not, even logically, there's something at play here that like
Yes.
I can't understand. I have faith in. I don't have to understand how the world
Hmm.
is floating around in this moving universe and then we're on this little blue dot and we're just little ants of people in this expanding universe that somehow we have this ability to have a connection with that energy that created
Yeah.
us. And here you are, like you said something that's powerful here. You had a shift in the way that you thought. Because
Yeah.
what you think about, you bring about. So the thinking from thanks to your mentor just said, just do what you do best. Because you've gotten
Yeah.
gifts. You've got gifts already, Marites. You made point of this already. You said that when you were young, you were obviously somewhat gregarious and ready to stretch out of your comfort zone and do things as an actor that most
Yeah.
people wouldn't have necessarily done or felt comfortable
Yeah.
with. And then taking those gifts that were literally given, you follow your husband and you follow what might be a stretch. You
Hmm.
follow nonetheless. You have faith in this process and you just go. And you already had 7 years of repetition as a
Yes.
realtor already. So it had someone gone in and been a brand new realtor in a brand new environment where they don't know anyone. Tough. What happened for you, because you had things going for you. You had 7 years under your belt. You were already successful in a market. You had family, right?
Yeah.
And then you also had a relationship with, in
Yeah.
what I call I've got my book, one of my books here. It's an Al-Anon book. So in my higher
Mm,
power or
higher power. Yeah.
God of my
Hmm.
understanding, or if it's in your world, if it's we say God, and I
Yeah.
resonate with that. Um, because you have that, you have something to your at your disposal that you can lean
Hmm.
on, which
Yes.
right, and it's okay. Like you're going to
Yeah.
be okay.
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing with that story is it happened a second time.
Okay. So what do you mean by that? Did you move from Abbotsford to somewhere
Yeah.
else? Okay. So
Yes.
what happened?
So same thing. My husband got a job at another neighboring city,
Yes.
and
As a
this time
pastor?
as a pastor.
Okay.
So again, this was another call that we felt, hey, we have to do this. This was more a matter of obedience, to go where we felt
Mm,
like he was being called to go.
to serve. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, and I said, you know what? I've got this great community at this church. This is like our
How long were you there
family
for?
now. At that point, we were there for about 5 years. We had had our
Oh
first
my God,
child at
half
this
a
point
decade.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, at least that I think. I'm kind of fuzzy on the timeline, but really good, solid relationships, solid friendships, solid database. And then we moved to another neighboring city. And if you're from Abbotsford, you kind of know like it's kind of tight knit. And once you
Yeah.
leave, it feels like, oh, you're gone.
Yeah.
Even
You're
though
an
I'm like,
outsider.
it's not that far away. It just still feels like a little bit of an outsider. You're not seeing people regularly. But again, the same thing is my business doubled again.
Mm,
So I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here.
right.
I feel the need to go and serve. We sense a call, we go, we're obedient to that call, and God blesses and provides for my family. Like
Nice.
it's an incredible pattern I've seen countless times in my life.
So what was it that you did if you were to look back in terms of just from a business perspective to
Hmm.
double and then move again, quote unquote, start over and nonetheless double again? What was
Yes.
it that skill wise?
Mm.
Because I mean, there's things that again
Yeah.
you've been given, and so
Right.
you've got talent. There's talent, and then
Hmm.
there's things that you needed to learn and apply and skill. Right, like
Yes.
you said, at 19, you started as a real estate agent. It wasn't like you were selling $1 million homes overnight.
No,
You had to put in the reps and put in the work and get better, and then
that's right.
atomic habit that 1%,
Yeah,
1% compounded.
that's right.
You move into this new market from Abbotsford. Where did you go?
To Langley.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so Langley. So now you're coming in a little bit closer
Yeah. Back
to
towards
right
Richmond.
back
Yeah.
towards the city.
Mhm.
Still, and Langley's a growing market,
Yeah,
right?
for
It's
sure.
more affordable than downtown Vancouver, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
still a beautiful place,
Hmm.
great community.
Great for
Um,
families.
Talk to me about what you did there that you applied from when you were first in the game to
Yeah.
Abbotsford. Like, what did you do to get your name out? What's the first thing you did?
Yeah, well, like I said, we got plugged into a church. That wasn't a business decision.
No, no.
Absolutely not. But
Yeah.
whether you go to church or some sort of community, just getting plugged in and starting a network and
Yes.
starting from a place that's really genuine. So for me, my faith is really important to me. So having connections with people where we can talk about things that are meaningful to us,
Yeah.
it really humanizes you to one another. It's like, oh, she's not a salesperson; she's just a regular human being.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
building those genuine friendships, yeah, that was kind of the foundational work. But then, as you know, you just start to get better and better at having these sales conversations, which is something maybe you could speak to more.
Yeah.
And as you refine those skills, that leads to more people trusting you and more people recommending you and growing in your confidence to then ask for those referrals. And so then when you
Correct.
ask very clearly, then they start to come.
There's a way to time collapse this. And it's something that I know that I've been given the opportunity to go and speak with your group in a few weeks' time. I'm so fired up to be able to go do
Same.
that and give. It's going to be a blast. And one of the things is that using reference to books that we may have learned, and again, a lot of these books, you can go back, like one of the best sales books of all time, the Bible. People don't realize this. There's some
It's true.
great sales stuff in there.
Yes.
And so if you think of do one to others, let's just go with that one
Hmm.
line. How to win friends and influence people is
Hmm.
really about relationships.
Yes.
It's not about your offer. It's not about your commission. It's not about your mortgage rate. It's truly about the person you're speaking with. And so if I'm going to sum that book up And the
Mm-hmm.
practice that clearly you have a gift for and you've refined that gift with skill is you're interested. You're not
Yeah,
trying to be interesting.
that's
You
right.
care. So what do? You ask questions. You take note. You listen, and then and one of the things that is so important, and it's one of the things that I truly believe in, is that when you're good at this, you're not even trying. And what ends up happening is you listen people into existence. You
Mm,
listen people into existence because there's a lot of people that feel that they're never being heard.
right.
And the problem with that is that other people around them do a lot of talking and they never get a chance to
Mm-hmm.
be able to voice their opinion, to be able to share how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And people buy based on emotion and justify with logic. When you think of a
That's right.
home, for most people, it's going to
Yeah.
be the biggest purchase that they ever make in their life, period. Now, some
Yeah.
people will turn around and they get good at home buying, and then all of a sudden it's like we're buying another home and then we're buying another revenue property. And their fear around this big purchase that they have to finance. Like people hear words like finance, interest rate, mortgage rate, and like, and I'll admit, it freaks me out. Like the idea of
Mm-hmm.
debt freaks me out. So, what was it for you? Talking about mindset, what was it for
Mm-hmm.
you, and about your money mindset? What's your relationship with money, and
Interesting.
how's that changed coming from your background?
Yeah.
I have some friends that are Filipino, so I'm curious
Yeah.
for you. Not
Yeah.
everybody,
Interesting.
not everybody has the same money mindset. Again,
Yeah.
money is energy. So
Yeah.
what's your view on your money mindset and what's changed over the years?
Yeah, I really saw money as something that was to be hoarded. And it was something
Mm,
that I kind of held on to, and it took up a lot of time and energy and fear and anxiety and
yeah.
sleepless nights.
Ooh.
Yes, and it's just that's
Yeah.
not the way it's supposed to be. And so then you have to learn how to take care of what you've been given and
Yeah.
adjust your lifestyle accordingly. And so now we're at a point where we've scaled and we've got assistants and systems and all that. But back then, I kind of grinded it out myself and did everything I could myself. But
Right.
then as you grow in your skill set, you get more sales and then you learn to buy back your time slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to release and just trust, okay, if I do those income producing activities like following up with clients and taking care of people, the money will come. And so I
Yep.
don't have to focus too much on the budget and watch the numbers too closely as long as I've kind of built some systems in place.
Yeah.
And really, like, I was one of those agents that really honed in on that know, like, and trust idea of being like, I'm going to focus a lot on the know, like, and then the competence side comes through when you have a conversation with me about real estate. But I'm not one of those realtors that's like, hey, let's talk about interest rates and statistics and do educational content. Like, my business was really based on the know and like. We know a lot of people from obviously our community.
Yeah.
And then we're likable because we are, like you said, interested in other people and we're
Yeah.
curious about them. And like one of our favorite questions is just to ask people like, what's your story?
Yeah.
Like,
What?
and then
And
people can just go for an hour.
yeah, they can. And this is great because it's a what based question. It's not why.
Mm,
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that we can unpack there. Number one is again, what's your story? Opens things up, right? Just
yeah.
people share. When you ask a why based question, especially if you're interested in someone, the why based questions are great to ask ourselves
Mm,
privately, eyes closed, or why did I do that? Like that's my thing. When I
mm-hmm,
ask somebody else, so why is that important to you? It it's a trigger. There's a time in
mm.
your life. There's a time in your life. There's a time in those that are listening. You've had a time in your life where somebody said, "Why'd you do that?"
Ooh,
with that tone. And so
yeah, it's scary.
most people when they find out what you do for a living, if you're in sales, immediately
Mm-hmm,
it's like, "Oh, you're going to try to sell me something." And so if you ask a why-based question, people who are first meeting you are already on yellow alert, right? Not
mm,
really sure about this salesperson and now all of a sudden it's like, "Why?" Red alert.
right.
So taking a what-based approach, and this is something that I'm going to recommend for everyone, is that if you have questions that start with why, just flip it to what. What makes it
Mm,
important to you? You know, why did you do that? What prompted you to make those decisions? And
great.
you'll get answers and it opens things up without putting people at a stress that
Right.
triggers things from the past. So that's absolutely awesome. What was interesting as well is that you said you've scaled.
Hmm.
So you took skills and you
Yep.
bought your time back.
Yes. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite things.
Yeah. And this is so, like time is the only thing that we have that is not a renewable resource.
Yes.
And God's only given us so much of it.
Yep. And all we can do is just manage it as best we can. We can't make more of it. We can't go back in time. We just
Right.
have to manage it.
You got to manage it. And part of that too, by the way, is you've got to spend it.
Yeah, that's
You got to
true.
spend it. So how do you like to spend your time when you're not working? What does Marites love to
Oh,
do?
you know what? This, yeah,
You just lit
my,
up, by the way. You just lit up. It's
oh,
so awesome.
my favorite thing in the whole world is worshiping it through song. So being a
Okay.
Filipino, like I
Yeah.
grew up singing, right? We sang
Yes.
karaoke while other families were playing board games. We were doing like
Sure.
duets, with my
Yeah.
dad. So
Nice.
singing is a big part of who we are just culturally, but a big part
Yeah.
of my upbringing as well. And then as my faith grew, then using those skills to then worship God is just like a double whammy for me. And so I love that's my favorite place in the whole world is to be on a stage and singing
Are
out.
you part of the leadership team then or the worship team with your church?
So so the funny thing is on Saturday, so I've led a song here or there. There's usually a worship leader and then there's
Yeah.
somebody that's supporting and doing background vocals and you sing one song or
Sure.
whatever. So that's what I was doing. On
Yeah.
Saturday they called this week and they said, "Hey, can you actually lead worship tomorrow?"
Hello.
And so
And
I
you
had
said
I said yes. And then
nervously and still
that's
went and did
right.
it, right?
That's right. I did. But I had to talk to myself. I had to really say, okay, you can do this. Mary Tess, you've been training for this your whole life. You've taken singing lessons since you're 8 years old. Your
Keep going.
favorite thing in the whole world is to worship God. You love being on a stage. You've been on a stage your whole life. You
There's
don't
five
have to be
points that you're
prepared.
throwing it. Right.
Yes.
And you don't have to be prepared. And nobody in the audience, especially in that environment, is going
Right.
to be frowning like they didn't buy a ticket.
No.
Right? It's
Yes.
they're there to do exactly what you're there to do, which is worship and
Yeah.
enjoy and feel,
Yeah.
right? And
I'm just there to
this
be
is
present.
so cool. It's so, and the fact that this just recently happened, and
Yeah.
there's parallels to that example of you having to step into something to do uncomfortable things because you got to
Hmm.
do the things you've never done to be able to get the things you've never had. And so you're called upon to serve, which you love to do, and
Yeah.
then I asked you, what do you like to do when you're not working? And you just lit up, and here it is. You get to do what you love to do, and it came to you. Like talk about the
Yes.
law of attraction,
Yeah.
right? Like
100%.
it's it. That is
Well, even
so,
being here with you, I was like, I want to practice more public speaking. I want to be in front of more people. I want to share more of my message. And then I just started putting it out there. And then left,
yeah.
right, and center, I'm invited to different podcasts, different speaking engagements. Like the opportunities keep coming. I think for a lot of people, they're just scared to actually admit what they want out loud and
So
tell
this
people.
is this is great. So of course I'm going to be asking you later how can people get a hold of you, and more
Hmm.
so now because of the thing that you do and you want to go and speak to groups. What is
Hmm.
it that you like to speak to groups about? Just share that with me so
Yeah.
that we could get a better understanding. Because if there's somebody listening that would go pro realtor or somebody who's like you've dealt with change,
Yeah.
you before I give
Yeah.
you answers that you want to talk to, I'll just
Yeah.
shut it and allow you to speak. So what is it that
Okay.
you like to
So
speak about?
I got two opportunities recently. One was talking about how to build a culture. And
Ooh,
so Alex
not
McFadden, he had a
yes.
conference.
Yeah.
And
I spoke
so
to
my
Alex
role,
yesterday, by the way,
I know.
for Evolve.
Yes, for
Yeah.
Evolve. So I
Yeah.
was at the
Awesome.
Kelowna conference and he said to me, Mary Tess, you're the best culture builder I've ever seen. Will you come and do a presentation on how
Love
you
it.
did it? So at our brokerage, my role is the director of agent development, kind of slash community director. So I do recruiting as well for the brokerage, but really through building up the agents. Like I don't cold call and ask agents to join. I take average agents and make them really great. And so
Nice.
that's my recruiting method. And
Mm,
so Alex says you've obviously built a really strong culture. In less than 2 years, we have over 60 agents that have joined the brokerage. So it's
wow.
very like talk about that law of attraction. I
Yeah.
really believe when you serve people, you take care of them,
Yep.
it just attracts other people.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
so he wanted me to talk about how to build culture. And then the second thing that I'm really passionate about is time management.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you talk about time management, what would be, let's say, three tips that come to mind right now for
Hmm.
somebody in sales or real
Yeah.
estate that you would recommend that are little golden nuggets, and that
Yeah.
if they heard these three tips on time management,
Hmm.
that they would probably think, hey, you know what? We got to get this Marites person to come and speak to us.
So any kind of entrepreneur is also your business is your life. And so
Yes.
one of my favorite ones is the bedtime routine. Like everyone talks about the morning routine. Craig talks a
Yeah.
lot about this,
Yes, he
but having a
does.
bedtime routine and setting an alarm for yourself is actually so helpful to be like, hey, 9:30, all the screens turn off.
It's
Are
my
you looking
phone.
for your alarm?
I have a reverse alarm on my phone.
So do I. I got
Yeah.
one on mine
Yeah.
as
Love it.
well.
Love it. It's a game
Yeah.
changer because then it's like, okay, no more
Huge.
screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Love
you're
it.
down to your old school activities. And so then you do your reading and you just kind of rest and meditate or whatever it is that you do. Do a little bit of meal
Quality
prep or,
time with my wife. Are you kidding
yeah,
me? Hey,
conversations.
we have to talk. And you know what's really fun is sometimes talking leads to other things before bed. So it's like,
Some old school
Joe
activities.
for
There
the
you go.
win. Yes. It's all good. Hey, listen, this is all part of design. If you think that, oh my God, Joe's talking sex again, it's like, listen, that's all
That's
part
part of life.
of it. Not only part of life, it's how that we're not here forever as
Yeah.
individuals. However, we are designed to be able to continue this storybook that's
Yeah.
unfolding, and that's in our DNA. That is literally part of God's plan.
A
Go and
hundred
reproduce.
percent.
Isn't that in Genesis? I mean, come on. So, all right. So
Yeah, and
there's
kind of
one.
along those lines too is just like setting your big rocks first, right? So that
Right.
would be like your date nights because you could have all the success in the world, but if your marriage is falling apart, inevitably your business is going to suffer. And so I know these are more like personal
Huge.
tips, but they make a huge impact. Like a big reason why my business has taken off, in particular the last 2 years, is because my husband's joined on. And so we have an incredible partnership, and that's really
Good for
blown
you.
up the business. So yeah, investing into date nights is another one.
It's a so again, reverse alarm, big rocks, date nights.
And then the last one I would say would be to kind of atomic habits your partnerships and relationships with people. So, for
Mm,
example, if your dentist is not your client, then you might want to consider getting a new dentist.
got
If
it.
your RMT is not your client, maybe you need a new RMT. And I know I get
Mm,
some pushback on that because people say, well, no, well, I really like so and so and I'm really loyal to him. And I said, well,
right.
you know what? Like my chiropractor has put all my kids through college with the repeat and referral business. So I'm really loyal to him,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think
That's valid.
strategic relationships are really important because we, like you said, you only have so much time in your life, and if you're going to spend time and resources with a dentist, RMT, a mortgage broker, whatever relationships you have,
Yeah.
you would like it to be reciprocal.
It comes back. It's not how, it's who. So these
Again,
who's are, and sometimes you're just one relationship away from this massive explosion of new things coming to your life.
100.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So as a speaker, you want to do more of it.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously you're coming and thank you for coming to the Cup of Joe Marcoux show. And nonetheless, it's like, what are some of the other things that you're doing to be able to get yourself out there? You're speaking on stages. What are some of the things that
Yeah.
you've done to be able to go, hey, I want to be able to get on more stages? You're asking.
Yeah.
What else?
I'm asking, like it's really that simple. Again, it's the who. So I have a friend, she's a fractional HR,
Yeah.
and I said, "Hey, you talk to companies. I like talking to companies. If you have any speaking engagements, I'm looking for an opportunity to
Love
speak."
it.
And so
Love
she
it.
says, "Okay, well, I'm training this big multi-million dollar company. Can you come and help them navigate change and come and speak to them on how you've navigated change over the years? And can you build out like a training thing? And she's like, it's not really public speaking, but it's a
Yeah.
group of
Oh no,
a
it's
bunch of
huge.
leaders. So
Yeah.
I said, absolutely. So I think it's just saying yes to those things. And then you kind of figure it out after you said yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to give you a golden nugget right here. This has worked.
Awesome.
I learned this from, again, I've done speaking for a long time. I don't say this to impress you. It's to impress upon you that even though
Yeah.
I have had I've had speaker coaches. And one of my
Okay.
speaker coaches, Majid like magic, gave me this one. Majid said, what you're going to do is you go and do a speaking engagement. And then I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And Majid is the writer of a book called Expert Speaker. Great
Okay.
book. Don't buy it, Marites. I'm getting it for you.
Oh, you are too kind. I'm writing it
No
down.
sweat. So
I'm taking notes during this
yeah.
podcast.
So here's in the book and in his workshop, he'd recommend doing this. And I've done this a few times, and it's blown people away. I'm the speaker. I go and speak to, and it could be an intimate group of anywhere from like 60 to 100 people. If it's like 1,000 or 2,000 people, it could be, doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just, here's what's fun. Let's say you have a small group, and then there's somebody who's the event coordinator or the person who put you in contact, and they
Okay.
will rebook. What you'll do is before you go and speak, either you or a member of your team will put out thank you cards in an envelope quietly, and you'll put them out in front of everybody who are on their seats, and you'll say, okay, now guys, before I go, what you're going to do is you're going to help me by thanking X person. So for example, it'd be like Linda, who works with Craig. You're going to write to Linda, Craig, and the team, and you're going to thank them. And you're just going to tell them thank you for what you enjoyed most about this whole event, not just my speech. What you enjoyed most, just tell them what you are thankful for. And that's it. You're just giving, right? You,
Right.
Marites, would be the person that put these cards. I have bought like a huge box in front of me here of stacks of cards that I've brought to events. I have people calling me weeks later saying, I've been going through these cards and I'm crying right now because of all the
Oh,
beautiful things that people are saying. And yeah, I get and again, the card's not for you, Marites. You're telling
right.
people you write out the card and you give it to the people that organized this
Right.
whole event because they do put in a lot of work. You know what happens is that the law of reciprocation is this. Number one is they get the props that they deserve for putting the event on, which is
Right.
great. Number two is everybody's going to remember you because you're a giving person. Number three, which is really the kicker, is that they'll likely invite you back. They'll invite you back and they'll refer you to other groups,
Right. Okay.
right? Because you've given them a feeling. They've been reading these cards and they're now being appreciated. Appreciation wins over self-promotion every time.
Yeah.
Appreciation wins over self-promotion. What best way to have people appreciate you than to give them the opportunity to appreciate someone else?
I love that.
Right?
That just keeps going. The
Yeah,
ripple effect
yeah.
of that is
The whole
beautiful.
paying it forward. And what's the cost? You can go on Amazon. I bought like they're just stock cards. It doesn't have to be this, like $5 a thank you card. I think it came in a box of 144 and
Yeah.
I bought two boxes and some people didn't get it. That's okay. Not everybody's going to understand what you're doing.
Right.
If even only half, I can tell you it's way more than half. If even only 50% of the people filled out the card, and from that, keep the people that receive, get 50% of those messages that touch them, you've
Right.
mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you've made someone's day. Best case scenario, you've got yourself a second opportunity.
I can guarantee you that's how it flows because you're already a giving person. And
Yeah.
like again, it's not about the money.
No.
It's about like when people feel good, they'll reciprocate. And it's
Well,
little
and that's what I
things.
always tell my team. Like when you're out interacting with clients and you're meeting them for coffee, give, give, give. And I put it in big capital letters. I'm like, hey, when you guys are out there, you're dropping off the gifts to the client, just give, give, give.
Yep.
Find ways to give to them. Like, hey, they're an electrician and he says he's put in a bid at some big summer camp and you know somebody at that summer camp, then make a call to the camp for him and let him
Yeah.
know that you're going to do that. Like, don't
Yeah.
be like, hey, you've got a referral for me. Like, you've got to
No, 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 no.
give like 3 times as much as you ask.
Yeah. You just keep
Yeah.
giving back. And the law of reciprocation, and you're using this as an example, I'll share a story with you. I used to have a retail exercise equipment store way back when. And people would come into my store, and next door there was a place at the time. It was called Grandma Lee's. It was a sandwich shop. I mean, I'm going way back like 25, 30 years. And people would come in and they'd go, yeah, you know what? I want to go think about it. Right. I ran into that objection. So what I did was I'd go to my desk and I would give them a $5 gift card. And I'd say, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a card because what you don't want is you don't want me in your hair. No problem. Okay. Go next door, enjoy a sandwich and a coffee. It's on me. Again, $5 back then. Today, obviously, it'd be
Right.
like $10. Worth it.
Yeah.
Whatever you decide, will you do me a courtesy to come back and let me know? Because ultimately, as a salesperson,
Yeah.
all I want to know is what the decision is. I don't care about whether yes would be favorable, no, okay, I don't like the answer, and at least I got the answer. It's what I don't want is the forever not knowing and
Right.
or an objection. And back then, I didn't know how to overcome objections like I do now. And again, it wasn't a ploy. It was, hey, let me do you a favor before you leave and have to come back or anything else. Here. Just
I
my
love
gift to
that.
you, go next door. 99.9% of the time, couples would leave, they'd have a coffee, and within 20 minutes, they'd come back smiling ear to ear, and they'd be like, okay. And so what did I do? They had space because nobody wants a salesperson in their bubble, right? Like, hey man, what
Right.
do you want? Like, no, it's like get out of the way, number one. And number two, here's a small act of kindness
Yeah.
that they appreciate, and the law of, and it's not about giving with that, okay, what else am I going to get back? Because
No.
people smell that, right?
Yeah.
It's whatever you decide. And literally that's the exercise for anybody who truly understands that sales is about serving. It's like, I'm just going to help you. So let me help you. Take this. It gives you a moment to decompress. You don't have anybody staring at you and asking you to make a decision. Take your time to make the decision. The decision was already made the moment they sat down with a coffee. Repeatedly, people have told me, you know what the conversation was, Joe? No, what was it? We sat down and we said, so we doing this? Yeah. And then had their coffee. Like they were just, all they needed was just that brief moment. And again, they
moment.
felt, right? So that reciprocal piece of here, right, is game changing. And that's the type of
Love
person that
that.
you are. Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
we're
sure.
we're delivering apple cider this week to all our clients who have referred us. And so we have like a little tag on it
It's
that says
harvest
like,
time. It's perfect.
yeah. Yeah, so
I
it just
love
says
it.
like your referrals are the core of our business, and it's apple cider from a local cider, so cheesy. And we make fun of
No.
ourselves. We're like,
Yeah.
it's cheesy, but we really just want to say thank you. Like, thanks for your support, and you could take this, to your kids for Thanksgiving,
Right.
and like, see ya, bless you.
It's so interesting too. You mentioned that it's cheesy, and here we are. We're both giggling and whatnot. Have you ever noticed that too? That the people that you have fun with are
Yes.
more apt to want to do things with you, like they want to work with
Oh
you.
yeah. Fun
And
is one of our 4 core values on our team.
love it.
Because it's who we are, but it's very attractional. All our social media is based on fun. So you're not going to see really heavy statistics and reports on the market. It's really kind of silly marketing, but it
Good for
really is
you.
attractional. And that's who we are. So it's very natural to us.
Yeah.
And our clients love it.
I was just having a meeting with my team earlier today, and we were just talking about that exact thing. It's just like, if you're having fun, people stick around longer, and it makes learning that
Yes.
much easier. And then application of it, when it becomes more natural, like
Yes.
and fun is key, right? Because it just seems like there's already too much. You got to use AI. You got to use AI. AI is everywhere. And like the foundation and I don't want to take up too much of your valuable time because we're already at 45 minutes, which is awesome.
Oh.
The AI, I know. See where I said this is just going to
Yeah.
flow, girl. No problem. there's a piece of it that I'm going to be speaking with your group and about. Everybody's talking about AI, and I'm all over
Hmm.
AI. I think AI is great. It's going to save you a lot of
Yes.
time. And the thing is that the piece that you brought to the table today, and the piece that is going to link all of this together that has helped you be so successful, including the fun factor, is
Hmm.
HI. It's HI, and that's human
What's HI?
interaction. It's human
Mm.
interaction. When people invest in human interaction in terms of how to communicate better, what
Yes.
questions do you ask? Body language skills,
Hmm.
tonality, and you're go back all the way to the beginning of this conversation. You were an actor. You
Hmm.
had skills that you were given at a very young age that you played and now you live the part.
Hmm.
We're all actors on the, what did Shakespeare say, right? Like all the world's a stage and we are merely players. So we
Mm.
are this stage has been set
Hmm.
by something bigger than us, and we've got the privilege to be able to play our part. And what God
Yes.
wants, in my belief, is that God wants us to play it at the best of our ability, so that when we are done here, he
Yeah.
can go back and look at us and so you did a great job, you played
Yeah.
that well.
Oh
Yeah, and
yeah,
you're playing
because
it well,
careers are
girl.
gonna, oh, thanks, Joe.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
and so are you. And like careers come and go and jobs people
Absolutely.
change, but
Yep.
if you spend your life serving people and loving people well, it doesn't matter what you do.
You spend it. You
Yes.
spend it, right? We said it earlier. You spend your, how do you got to spend your time. You're spending your time serving others, and it's paying dividends. It's not
Yes.
about, like, it's funny how all these things, there's these words all have meaning, and they go
Hmm.
deeper, and they hit a variety of different ways. They hit us in our subconscious minds. They hit us in our souls in terms of how it feels. I do work in Al-Anon because there's some people around me that have, again, I'm not against alcohol. I know that
Hmm.
there's some people that have a problem with alcohol, and their relationship to alcohol, it affects me. And so
Right.
there's a reason why some people, you go into a liquor store and there's a reason they call it spirits,
Oh,
like, because it changes people, right?
interesting.
And there's the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. There's sometimes it amplifies the spirit of who you are, and that work that gets done
Mm.
in a program like Al-Anon, which is spiritually based,
Hmm.
which is faith based.
Hmm.
It's powerful, and like, I mean, I'm telling you, it changed my life. Absolutely,
Wow.
it saved my life, and
Wow.
that's a whole other podcast.
For
Yeah.
next time.
So, Marites Kliem, how do people get a hold
Yeah.
of you? And Emma will make sure we get all your information, so it'll be in the show notes and everything else. How would
Yeah.
people get a hold of you to be able to
The
either?
easiest way is, yeah, is just through Instagram, and it's just my name at Marites Kliem, Mariteskliem. You can just DM me there. I'm happy to always chat with people. That's probably the
Awesome.
simplest way.
Awesome. You know what, Marites, this is not going to be the only time that you're on this show, because I felt like we just got started.
I know
Like,
we could have gone a million
yeah,
directions.
well, this is just it, and I'm looking forward to coming speaking with you again and to your group in
I'm
just about
so
a month's
grateful.
time. It's going to be a blast. And for anybody who wants to have somebody who's going to speak about culture, or if you live in the Langley area and you're looking for
Hmm.
somebody who really cares about the what you're going to invest in terms of your home, look up
Hmm.
Mary Tess. She's going to help you. All right.
Yeah.
Be
Thank you,
awesome,
Joe.
everybody. See you soon.
Take care.